Hi, my name is Martin Bomers, and I'm here for Workforce 105 from Penn State, delivering the lesson plan. What I want to show you folks is, as a carpenter, in the interior finish component of your career, we'll always deal with doors and hardware. So if we're dealing with doors and hardware, we have to understand that today I want to show you how to set a frame for a mason in a block wall. Um, if there's a block wall where a mason has to install a door opening, he has to have the frame installed before he can put the blocks up to the door frame. So it's up to the carpenter to be able to install it where it's supposed to go and make sure it's done properly, so it's plumb, level, and square. Okay? I have some components that we're going to deal with today. We're going to deal with a 3-foot, 7-foot door, 2x4s, 4-foot, 10-foot, um, some blocks to install our bracing, a 5.5-inch insert block, and some wedges and nails. Okay? These are also pre-cut so that you can go and prepare your frame for your installation. You're also going to need a hammer, a level, plumb bob, and optional laser. One of the key components of setting these door frames is a block that you're going to install, an insert block, which is the measurement I've given you is 5.5 because that's the throat for this door frame. If you cut it 5.5 inches, you're going to clip the corners, right? So that it's 22.5 degrees on each side, so it allows you to be able to insert it in the door frame. Here's an example of all the materials we're going to need. As I said, we can use 2x4x10, but if you don't have 10s, you can make them up as scabs. Now I want to show you how to install one of these blocks in the head of the door so it can be installed quickly. All you have to do is prepare this before you install your frame. If I take this block and I install it with this diagonals like that, it allows me to be able to put this whole 2x4 into the throat of the door frame. I'm going to use a wedge to snug it up to the lip of the frame because these frames are 2 inches and the wood is 1.5 inches. I want to make sure it doesn't drop. After it's secured on both sides, I'm going to take a 2x4 off the head, put a nail on one side, just allowing so it doesn't have any lateral movement. Okay? Once your frame is prepared, you can take it and stand it up and put your bracing on. I've got an example here of a door frame I've already installed. All right? You're going to have to know exactly which way it swings. Either it swings left or it swings right. This particular one, the superintendent or the layout guy told me I have to put this door along this grid line, and it's a left-hand swing. Okay? Read the floor. Make sure that you know which side is the high side, which side is the low side. Because you don't want to install your frame. You don't want to install the low side first. Okay? Always do the high side, whether it's the hinge or the latch. Once you've established or secured it at the floor, you're going to put some bracing on here, on a diagonal bracing, about 7 feet, which is an optimum. Check to make sure it's plumb. Nail it off, both sides. Beautiful. That makes my frame plumb. I have it level, I have it plumb. Now I have to make sure it's square. So I have a diagonal brace. Make sure that you don't nail it off in the path of the block so that the bricky doesn't have to kick it out of its way. One important aspect I mentioned over about handing is if I stand here, I put my back to the frame, this is a left-hand frame because the hinges are on the left side of my body. If I have hinges on this side, it's going to be a right-hand frame. It's important to understand that because you don't know where the room is. That's how they teach you. Say, stand outside the room. There is no room here, so you have to figure out which frame it is. One element that's also important is you're going to tell you it's either a left hand or a right hand, or you'll say that it's a left hand or a right hand reverse. What that tells you is that you're going to use a key and install it in the key into the lock set, and if it swings away from you, it's a left hand. If you put the key in the door and you swing it right, that's a right hand door. What's confusing to guys is they put it in the key in this door, it's a left hand reverse, but it's a right hand frame. And this is a right hand reverse, which means it's a left hand frame. Okay? The last thing you can do before you walk away from this door frame is to what they call cross-sighted. You're going to look along this edge and along this edge, and make sure you see that the light is exactly the same. That's what they call looking for any wine. If it's out of wine, then it's going to be an issue. And finally, before the bricky actually puts his block in, you're going to put a spreader. This keeps the frame from pinching, because he's going to put his block along this to a certain height. He's going to be able to just stop there, do this side. Just keeps the whole thing from pinching in. Hopefully I've taught you a little bit about setting the door plumb, level, and square. It's a very important element of our trade, because if you don't, there's going to be issues where the door is going to bind, or it's going to hit the door, top of the door, or bind when it swings, and then that'll cost time and money, and you might not do a very good job. Thank you very much.